The streetlights turned red shortly after Lewis began his walk. The change froze him in place and sharpened his senses. The freshly wetted pavement tickled his nostrils with the smell of a recent rain, and the puddles of water reflected the crimson light up from the ground itself. The faint buzz of sodium streetlights prickled Lewis's ears, registering slightly above the ceaseless drone of insects. Lewis took this all in quickly, but something was still wrong. He could feel it in his bones, that unease, that primal instinct of danger. He couldn't explain it. The street was empty. He slowly turned to look over his shoulder, but nothing was there. He could just barely hear the drone of a distant engine somewhere across town. But that was all. He turned back round and made to keep walking home, but stopped when he found himself ankle-deep in water. Disgust flooded his mind at the thought of his foot drenched in the muddy waters of a pothole. But the disgust was challenged by shock and confusion. His foot was warm, very warm, and the water very thick. He gazed down, lifting a foot out to examine it. In the red haze of the lights, the foot looked black as thick ooze dripped from his shoe's sole. He looked round, inner voice silenced by the panic within his mind. It took all but a second to realize this pothole had not been here before. It nearly stretched across the whole road. Eyes forward, he stepped back, lifting his legs to get back over the edge. He fell backwards, arms plunging into the unnaturally warm liquid. It splashed across his face as he was nearly submerged, some of it reaching his lips, where in his haste it was accidentally licked up by his tongue. The first true inklings of dread wormed their way down Lewis's spine as he identified the coppery taste within his mouth. He tried to stand, but each movement of leg or arm led to only deeper footings. Ever and ever deeper, never closer to the surface, until Lewis found himself bouncing from tiptoe to tiptoe, each bounce sinking him further into the deepening pool of blood. It was there he screamed, finally finding his voice. He screamed, and when his footing was no more, he swam in the thick blood, legs kicking furiously to stay afloat. He paddled forward, then backward, for how long he could not say. In his struggle, he fought to keep the blood from his mouth. But as the seconds stretched to minutes, he found all he could taste was blood. All he could feel was its warm embrace, inside and out, until eventually his legs stopped kicking, and his arms stopped wading, and his mind stopped fighting, and he sank. And as his mind and spirit abandoned him for whatever came next, Lewis heard a buzz from above, like a million pebbles sliding down a hill. A fresh rain, come to wash away the blood